Albedo is coming back after almost a year. So without wasting any time, let's get right into his artifact set. Well, there's only one set that you should be using, and that is the 4-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams. Now there are a few things about that. The only problem you'll be facing while farming this domain is that its counterpart artifact is the Ocean Hued Clam, and this set is only good for Barbara, Chi-Chi, and Kokomi. Also, this Husk of Opulent Dreams is only good for defense scaling characters. That's also a problem. But for what it does, it is a really good artifact set, and it is the only artifact set that you should be using for Albedo. If you're a newer player, you have not unlocked Inazuma yet, so it will take you a bit of time to get to it. Till then, you can use any set literally with just defense stats. So, what is artifact's main stats? Well, for Sands, you definitely want defense. For Goblet, you definitely want geo damage bonus. For Circlet, it depends on the weapon. So this is a perfect chance to talk about his weapons. His best in slot is the free 4-star Snubber Spindle, which was event exclusive. So if you have not participated in that event, unfortunately, you might never get this weapon. But fret not, because his next best in slot, and also before that weapon was ever released, this used to be his main weapon that people used, Harbinger of Dawn. This is a very good weapon for him, and its passive is extremely helpful to balance his crit stats. Provides a ton of crit rate and a ton of crit damage. It will help you out a lot to balance his crit stats. The only problem you might face with this weapon is when facing enemies that apply corrosion. During that time, maintaining the 90% HP criteria might get a bit difficult. Other than that, it's an amazing weapon. If you are thinking about using 5-star weapons, well, the Jet Cutter is a good option, but the passive will not really help him other than giving a lot of attack. The problem with giving him a ton of attack is that his ultimate is gonna do a lot of damage with a lot of attack because it scales off of attack, but his E skill that makes him a sub DPS and what he is primarily used for is based off his defense. So during that time, you definitely want to go with a defense circlet in that situation. Also, regarding weapon, there is one 3-star weapon called the Traveler's Handy Sword. Unfortunately, I do not have it here to show you, but you will get that weapon by opening chests or via some quest, I don't remember. That weapon also offers defense stat, but at level 90, it offers 26% defense. It's not really that good, and its passive is also useless on Albedo, so don't use it. If you do not have Snubber Spindle, use Harbinger of Dawn. And if you're thinking of using 5-star weapons, well, you need to balance it out with ample defense, because his sub DPS capabilities are based off of his defense. Now let's quickly talk about his Constellations. Well, pretty much useless to pull for his Constellations. His C2 fixes his split scaling a little bit, but still I would suggest don't pull for his Constellations. Not really worth it. And if you would pull for it anyway, a good stopping point would be at C2. Beyond this, it's not worth it at all. Instead, pull for some other character's Constellations with those Primogems. For his talent priority, you want to level up his alt and E skill, and that's about it. No need to level up his normal attack. As for his artifact scenarios, if you're using Harbinger of Dawn, you might want to use a defense circlet. That will help you out by giving you ample defense. If you're using the Cinnabar Spindle, then definitely use a crit circlet, because too much defense will not give that good of a result that you'll be hoping for. Instead, a good crit ratio to aim for is 50 to 100. This can be a lot better, but my substats are, well, kinda average. In fact, below average. Like, what is this? what the hell is this with 1000 HP, yeah? So yeah, with better substats, you can get a lot better crit stats as well. But even with this, his E skill does about 17 to 20k damage. So now for his teams, well, his best team would be the Mono Geo team with Ito and Albedo, Ito and Zhongli and Goro. Other than that, he's a pretty flexible character. You can slot him with in any team and he will perform pretty good. And since we are already talking about teams, Zhongli and Albedo, these two make one of the best pairs that you can slot in any team and they will perform really, really well. Some of the prime examples would be Yoimiya Vaporize team with Yoimiya Yelan or Jingshu and Albedo Zhongli. Also Zhao teams with Zhao's battery and then Zhongli and Albedo. Also, one more thing about Albedo is that his ultimate, when you use it on his passive, he gives 125 EM to your team members. So if you're using in reaction based teams to get the EM boost, it will help you out a lot. But do remember that his E skill is still a geostructure, though its elemental gauge is lower than Zhongli's, but still he will use up some of your reactions to crystallize. And that's about it. Now, going to the main question. Should you pull for Albedo? I would suggest if you have Cinnabar Spindle, only then pull for Albedo. Other than that, don't. Save for Nahida. And that's about it. Hope this helped. And if it did, do drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know if you guys are actually pulling for him or not. I am really interested to know. For me, he was my first limited banner character. And I really use him a lot and I really like him a lot. So, that's it. See you guys in the next one.